Well, we are back. We're playing some 3-minute today. I've realized maybe the reason that I'm good at bullet, or at least better at bullet than the other time controls right now, is because I don't think anyway. And if I don't think, then we should lower the time controls so our opponents have less time to think. Because I'm not doing any thinking anyway. We might as well play on time controls that are shorter so that my opponent doesn't... If they have the self-control, you gotta take. If they have the self-control to think up a good move instead of just going with whatever their first instinct is, at least they don't have as much time. There's something here. I always do this one, but it's like, if I do this and you take, and then I do this, no, and then I do this, you're trapped, right? This is a classic chess puzzle exercise. Is your queen trapped? I feel like it is. I always get it wrong because I always move this rook. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? In that case, you're going to do that? That's a sneaky little move. But wait, hold on. You still don't get out of it. Now we'll just threaten your knight, too. We'll just hit you with something like this instead. Now, we could have taken this pawn, put them in check, screwed up their king side, and then take... No, because then they could take this. But then if they take that, I take their knight. Just still, like, positive for us. But not that positive. It's not bad. There's probably a better way. I bet we could have gotten out of that a little better, but we did get a piece. But they got 3 pawns. So it's like, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Well, first, like, I see what you're going for here, and I understand it. But first, we got to threaten you. Dude, actually, this would have been freaking killer. I'm bringing you back, and then I'm doing this. And I'm saying, where you go? I think your queen's trapped again. This is the great... No, not even close. Queens can move diagonally, I've recently been told. Okay, start king over. I know we have a pawn. See, now I'm unthreatened. We got the greatest knight in the game right now. He's protecting every square at once. Ah! Okay, honestly, great move. I just did... Literally, they chess puzzled me. I respect that. That was honestly good tactics. That was a fun game. I never know how to play Queen's Gambit, even though I did see the show. Feel like you knight take here, and then you move back here so you don't... Well, I don't know if they push me down. Whatever, who cares? You're going to push me down again? By the way, I got to say, I'm begrudgingly admirant of your control of the center right now. Certainly feel like I can get away with this for a second. Now I'm up by a pawn. I mean, I guess that's why they call it a gambit. I'll take a quick check. I don't immediately feel like this piece is in any danger. Honestly. Queen goes here. Here's a bad swap. Here we get taken. Here we block in this bishop. We need the castle at some point. Ideally. They're going to get their pawn back. But for now, I'm not feeling too bad. I mean, like, this is a move that gives us some good tempo because we're threatening mate in one. Okay. Now I'm like, oh, hold on. Am I like now, I'm trapped in the same decision as before? I could go here, but this makes our queen basically useless. Honestly, rather than do that, I would rather just take the crappy swap. Play bishop to d6, castle queen side. We don't look that bad. They're not going to push us down with their pawns over here. Why would I be afraid of that? Now, if they want to swap, go ahead, take the swap. If they don't want to swap, then why you playing this? I just didn't want to put queen on... Wait, is my move? Wait, what? I wasn't even trying to, like, BM them. I'm just confused about what happened. Like, I looked at the position and my brain went, well, that can't be what they, like, meant to do. Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to let you get a pawn back, and I'm not going to run out of time. Yeah, I'm not, obviously I'm not going to let you just fork me. You can threaten the rook, but I'm not going to let you fork me. I'll play something like this. I feel like you're going here next. Do I care? Have I missed the part where that's my problem? You gotta go, okay? First move to do that is this. Then we push you down. Get you off of the useful diagonals. Put you someplace else. If you want to come back all the way to here to defend the pawn, I would be eternally grateful. Also, we can take this pawn now. Right now, I'm not making the best moves. I'm also, now I realize, threatening mate in 2. Okay, well, let's just take that instead then. But I'm also just trying to move so I don't exacerbate my time situation. Okay, that was a solid game. There were some problems. There were some solutions. Okay, we got a little Caro-Kann. I used to play the Caro-Kann defense myself, might I add. Do I care? I think you castle here. You want to push me around? Honestly, if they want to push me here, I don't mind this. They don't. Well, you know what? I don't like the control you've got on this diagonal anyway. Now we've got an open file and an absolutely horrendously scuffed pawn structure. Hold on. Have you ever seen this before? I'm going to play here. They take this. Rook from F to B1. They know. Also, that this is protected. Okay, hold on. I think we got to cover this first. And then we do this. They probably just play that next, right? Like, why? There's always a knight in a perfect position to... Wait, this doesn't even work anymore. What? I thought we had the dream situation. I thought we had it all figured out. Oh, because we had the knight block. We have to move the knight first. Okay. I will screw up your pawn structure to make this happen. What are you? You're up by a pawn right now? You're up by 2 pawns right now? You're up by a pawn right now? You're up by a knight? And then a pawn? This is bad. Definitely, like, I would say a certifiably not good situation. How much are we down by? We shouldn't have even protected this pawn, honestly. We're down by 5. That's a lot. In the world of chess, that's a substantial number. We're down by enough that they could lose the knight and still feel confident. That's not a good sign, usually, I would say. Maybe we can threaten some kind of Psychomate. You ever think about that? What is a Psychomate? Good question. I wish I had a good answer for you. I guess we're pushing up. Does this answer your question? Oh, no, this is over. They could have just taken me. They can still just take the pawn, I suppose. Like, we're so obviously lost. We just, like, if they take this pawn, it's over. If they take this pawn, it's over. But instead, I'm like, we're accidentally going to get closer to, like, a draw by repetition somehow. I mean, not actually, obviously, because... Maybe, actually. I don't know. Maybe we've been in the same... I don't know. I know how this sounds. This sounds, like, really rude. But close me out. You can put me in check for... You had no reason to draw. You had me dead to rights. Yeah, 5 blunders, 4 blunders, 5 mistakes. But, I mean, they were just in a vastly superior position. I don't know if they were just... They were fishing for a checkmate, like, hoping that one of those would be cool. But I'm actually mad, like, I'm mad on my behalf. Hold on. I forget... How do you play the Traxler? Everybody then plays this. No. I know you play bishop to c5, and then when they put you in check, you, like, put them in check or something. Something along those lines. I'll take the swap, man. I'll take the swap. I don't want to play knights over bishops, but I like the way my structure looks. You're going to like the way your structure looks. I guarantee it. And then you know what? There's a part of me that says, let's resolve this center situation. I don't like your pawn sitting here. Now we got some control of the open file. Hey, hold on. This is like a miraculous situation for me. We're getting close to being out of the opening, and I feel like I like my position. It's uncommon for me. This feels good. I don't know if it is good. I didn't do any calculations. But I'd trade my knight for a bishop here. Absolutely. Maybe they want to move their bishop. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they move bishop back here. Maybe I move something. Okay. How interesting do you like to play games? Is that an expression that makes any sense at all? Not really? Go here. Keep some pressure on this. Well, I would still love to do that. You're just gonna go after me again, huh? What if I go here? Now you got a problem. This piece and this piece are both threatened. My queen is no longer threatened, I think. Am I missing something? It's a Levy viewer, and that scares me. It's danger levels. It's not that bad for them. They take with the queen. If they take with the pawn, they lose the knight. I'm just trying to make sure, like, I'm not... You know what? I'd like to push you back. But what if you go here? Do I miss the part where that's my problem? I don't know. I think maybe when in doubt, take the pawn. Might as well get something that if we get to an endgame will make things a little smoother for us. Then I would say immediately... I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm just going to go back and I'm going to threaten you right here. Do I like the push? Feel like first I like this to prevent that in the future. Then I like the push. You can't come back here. In the future, we do something like that. I'm thinking, okay. I'm down on time. I'm no longer thinking. Head empty. I'm gaming. I'm opening up my king on the diagonal here quite prodigiously, but they will not do the trade anymore. That's for sure. Okay. What are we at? We're by one pawn. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, feel like we played a superior game right now. Don't lose on time. If you lose due to the time putting you in a bad spot, then you lose due to that. Okay? It happens. Otherwise, though, yeah, I'll take a swap. I mean, I'm a simple man. I would love to simplify this down to a soul-crushing endgame right now. I love this doubled-up rook situation. That's for sure. They're not going to stay doubled for very long. But I think if the faster we can trade this down and simplify the game, the happier we're going to be. I got to like my position here. We just got to be careful about this. Yeah, I think we got to, like, close you up. Okay, then we do that. Totally fine by me. Actually, completely understandable move. I think, don't quote me on this, I think this gives us a great chance to trade rooks. Yeah, you got to, but then how do you keep this pawn alive? We got 28 seconds. It's not a whole lot of time. Hold on, I'm an idiot. I made a horrible move and threw my game away? Or did I? I don't know, maybe I didn't. Maybe we're still fine. This is a weird move, don't get me wrong. They have to take. Otherwise I get way too much. We could have mated them with this first. $16 seconds. Tragic. Man plays worst endgame of all time. We just got to keep them in check, basically. Because as soon as they play this, I'm in a lot of trouble. I think we might just have them. I think we might have just won due to a missed win on their part. Not a well-played endgame, but that's what happens when you got, like, 10 milliseconds left. It's made in one. I don't think you can stop it. Okay. We got very lucky. Just be honest with you. I think we got insanely lucky. We got a little time here. That seems like good analysis for me. This seems like a good opportunity to learn something. Because for the first time in a while, I was like, I feel like, let me pick where the position where I thought we were good. And I bet we were up by a pawn and a half according to the position. I'm just going to analysis and then step me. I loved our position right here. Okay, we were not up by a pawn and a half. The engine does favor us in some future line. Oh, no, maybe this is the move they wanted to see instead. Hold on. The cats are going a little crazy. I just want to make sure they're okay. You all right here, buddy? What's wrong? You can't come into the room. We went through this with the chords in a Super Auto Pets video. I'm sorry. I was just making sure they weren't killing each other. They say we're even. I don't know, though, because anytime you don't like what the engine says, just say whatever. You're an engine. Who cares? Why do I like this position? We have more piece development. We have more control of the center, although this pawn's a little weak. Yes, we have 2 knights versus knight bishop, which is bad, but at least our knights are doing something. This knight is not doing much, and this bishop is doing nothing. Our rooks are connected. We could start to put some pressure on this open file. Like, I thought that was great for us, but okay. How did they... 68 versus 72. Let's start our game review. This is the 4 knights game, allegedly. Everything pretty normal thus far. Missed win. This lets your opponent kick your piece. You missed a winning move. Okay, so right now they think we're up by 8. Yeah, because I'm stupid. You literally just take their rook. And then they take, and then you take. It's like the number one thing you learn when you play over-the-board chess, when you have more time controls, and honestly, I could have done it here, but is look at, like, every obvious move first. Especially if pieces are in capture range of one another, just evaluate them. You got the time. I'm not blaming that on time controls. I'm blaming it on me being an idiot a little bit there. Okay, how do they feel? They love our position, but they do think we threw it away. You overlooked the chance to force checkmate. Yes. That's mate in 1. Mate in 3? How do they stop it? Oh, wait. I actually don't know, because that's mate. Like this, mate. Oh, this maybe. No, this. Check. Check. I don't know. It would have been goofy. They probably would have resigned. Okay, that obviously another thing we should have looked for. They're like, hey, guess what? You just missed. Yeah, this is where, by the way, right here. This is where I was like, I have an amazing position. And then I was like, oops, I lost. Anyway, you left a piece undefended, so this loses material. You could just activate your king. They're like, it's not so bad. You could play that. That seems bad to me. Okay, fair. You could play this because there's nothing they could... How do they stop it? They're like, that move's pretty good. E4 is a mistake? What the heck's the right move, man? Engine chess? They're like, that's a bad move. What's a good move? Show me a hint. It's a rook move. B3. All right. I mean, this was a swingy sort of endgame. They're like, this is bad too. Okay. Well, I left that game thinking I had like good self-esteem, but apparently that's not the case. I played F5. We should have played E4. That makes sense. I did have 24 seconds left on the clock. Look at how many like blunders I have over here, man. This is embarrassing. Instead of playing that, we should have played... No, I don't know. We have to stop this. Do we have to move our king back? No, that's also bad. We played, what did we play here? Rook to c2 check. It's not a pawn push. It's not a pawn push. Can I get a hint? It's a king move. Okay, retry me. Is it just king in? It is. Still bad for us, to be clear. So where did they throw the game away? They said, that's a great move. This was a game-changing move. You no longer have a losing position. I'd like to share that. Then they're like, okay, this is a game-losing move. What do you play here instead? King to g3. King to g3. Rook to b8. Check. Push. I don't know. Next. Hey, the important thing is it all worked out for us, okay? Look at how many great moves I had at the end. Incredible. Don't ignore the part where I had 5 blunders or something and the engine said, how drunk are you? Hold on, excuse me. Why am I playing someone rated 1500? This isn't bullet. I see how it is. Copy all my moves, huh? Yeah, I can't do that move because I can't take here. But I can do this. And then what are you going to do with your bishop? I don't know. What? This is a strange one. I'm playing against a gamer who's doing some strange things. And can I tell you, I like it. That's what's craziest about it. Because if you take me here, I take you here. And then what's going on, you know? What the heck is happening? What's going on here? You want to see something straight? Okay, watch this. Check. No, because then they take with the knight. Oh, that would have been sick. We could still do it. You could also do this. Is this any good, though? It does get this piece out of threat for like a millisecond. Then they move their queen. You could do this. They take you. What happens after that? Check. And then they go like here. And then you go check. And you win their queen. But what if they go here? Then you go check again. Okay, dude, honestly, this probably loses us the game. But if it works, it'll be such an amazing technique that I'm like, you got to give it a try. It's just, I mean, and probably the fork is the better play. I just saw this too, which like blows me out. But you got to admit it was fun while it lasted. Every piece on the board is under threat simultaneously. My bishop is under threat. That's fine. I wouldn't have taken it either. It's kind of a trash piece when you think about it. How much are we up? How much are we down? We're down by 5? I feel like considering the circumstances, that's not that bad. This one, I look back in the video. What did I say? What words did I utter to you? I said, I'm okay with this one getting weird. Here's the deal. You're going to take that pawn. We got to protect our king a little bit. Otherwise, it's even more over than it probably already is. I mean, I called it. I said, I'm okay with this one getting a little weird. And then we let it get it a little weird. They have a strictly superior position. Sure, yeah. I mean, this big moves, big plays. It certainly seems unwinnable. I just lost. Okay, I resign. Let's not even talk about that. I threw that one in a funny capacity, and I'm okay with that. I just want you to know, Todd, we could play a serious game at some point if you're more into that sort of thing. But I enjoyed our goofy attack-only game. I think we both made a series of blunders. Also, why am I even playing you? You're like 200 points above me. What is this? The Chess Olympiad? Like, come on, chess.com. Get a clue, bozos. I don't really like this knight. I think this knight's stronger than my knight. Let's trade knights. What the hell? Okay, I'll take my pawn. I'll keep the pressure up. We're going to lose this pawn. I'm okay with that, though. I think for what we got out of it, I'm contented. You know what? Let's offer some protection here. I'm not worried about the pawn, okay? The pawn is as the pawn does. You're going to go there. You're going to go there? Okay. Am I crazy to play this? And then when you take my pawn, I just come down here and get a nice excuse to take your pawn and threaten your bishop? And then you play this and kind of like blow me out? This seems... I'm glad I didn't miss that one. I have a known tendency to do so. Okay, this seems like a very strong position for our knight to be in for about half of a second. I would love if you took me. So I'm just going to double up here, make you think I'm going to take with the rook. Then I'm going to take with... Well, you're not going to take me. But I could do this. There's plays. Oh, there's plays. Check. Take. 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 Check. No. The bishop's too strong. We should play slower. Okay. Not a good move. Well, actually, that's fine. Like, this is a fork. But then if I take, they take me. Like, if I... And I shouldn't explain it because it's going to take time. But this is a fork for a check. They're going to play something like this, probably. Otherwise, well, I don't know. It's not great for them. If I take this rook, they take me. I don't like that. I would rather not get taken. I'm weird like that. This check, I'm not really a big fan of because I don't feel like I gain too much out of it. What do I like, though? I mean, in general... Wait, why don't they just take me right now? Why didn't they take me last turn? I got to get this rook out of here, man. I'm being taken. It's not protected. I'm losing time. What about a check? And then, if they do this, we take. They move the knight. That was the whole thing we were scared of in the first place. Yeah, but at least now our rook's protected, probably. I'm now forked. Makes a lot of sense. I did give them 100 years to think about how they were going to play. So that one's on me. We're still up in material. We're only down by about half the clock total. What are you going to do? We're still up in material. That's the crazy part, right? So you're pinned. What are you going to do? Pinned is maybe a strong word. We got to take pawns. We got to play faster. We got to take pawns. We got to set up an endgame. We got to simplify the game. We got to play a lot faster. What is that going to do? Sorry, that's rude. But like you got to figure out how you... Okay, you know what? You found a way. I'll give you a pawn for free. Now stop me. They stopped me. Okay, now you got to move that king over. You're going to push me back? I would too. I would too. I can't be mad. Let's put some pressure on. Let's put a smile on that face. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I got to pass pawn. I'm going to push you, but go back here. Go back here, you piece. I got 14 seconds. It's not enough time. I can't compartmentalize this. It's a draw. We gave them a draw. Unless they screw up. Nope. I'll take my draw. Because otherwise I'm running out of time anyway. Okay, we should have won that one. We were doing very well. Dominating might be a bit of an overstep, but that happens. Honestly, as insane as this sounds, I do not accept the King's Gambit. It's too advanced for me. I accept it after. There's no method to my madness, just for the record. As soon as, and I'm sure this is like a verifiable phenomenon in the world of chess. If someone offers me a gambit and I accept it, I spend the rest of the game playing so conservatively as to cost me a reasonable chance at parlaying the gambit into any advantage whatsoever. But what I was going to say, it's a little copium, but I love getting a draw in online low-skill chess because it's 10 times rarer than a win or a loss. It's the most common outcome in real chess and the least common outcome in online chess, at least at my level. So we take the knight because it allows us to then take this. And that's fine. I mean, we're up by a pawn, allegedly, in many ways. Could castle, but honestly, we could long castle, too. I kind of like keeping my options open right now. What don't I like? I like where our knight is. I don't really like this bishop where it is. I wouldn't mind sacking a chance here. Then there's another part of me that says, hey, you want to trade knight for bishop? I just want this knight gone. If you want to do this and screw up my pawn structure, I'm still happy with it, just to be clear. And then I'm like, dude, you want to take me? Take me. Okay, we got to think for a second. Because if I push here, take, I lose a piece. So I have to move my knight. And unfortunately, I have to move it here or here. And that blows. So I'm going to move it. We lose the pawn either way. What if take? They still can't reconcile the fork. Yeah, this is the way it had to be done. They can't reconcile the fork. This is better for us. I don't care which piece I get. Okay, so they're going to screw up my pawn structure. I feel like I'm okay with that. I don't really want a castle. It's not a move I'm very fond of right now. Here's a psycho move. What about... So if they take, I'll just take. If they do... Yeah, what about check? Then they move this up. Does that matter at all? Probably not. They can't just... They move this up. I lose the pawn, but it's kind of fun, right? Like, it's a fun move. What if we take first? Then what do? They probably take here. And then I'm dead. Yeah, that's not good. Here's what I would say. They're going to take it anyway. We got to do something. This is very... I wish this move was good, but I think it's actually bad. But it looks very funny. I'm literally just going to Pippi Longcastle. We had to resolve the time pressure. After spending a minute puzzling out something we knew was bad just to demonstrate it to the audience. It looked so cool. I wanted that to be the move so much. I just don't think it was. And they still got a lot of pressure here. Like, they got to play this. Or no, they can't take me. They got to play that. Yeah. And then I'm like, we take this? Not mate. Okay. Well, we can't move the queen, really. They still can't move. They have to move their king. Or move the queen like here or something. Or, yeah, okay. I don't know. Wait, I'm up by 1? It's a pretty frenetic game. They got to figure out something to do with this. We have 22 seconds left. Don't tell me to play increment, by the way. Because, like, that's obviously the right thing to do. The problem is I don't want to play against the kind of players who play increment. Oh, wait, now I'm pinned. What the heck? Okay, you know what? Come in there. I'm not worried about that. I've only got 11 seconds left anyway. I'm not scared. This is not winnable with 11 seconds left. I accept that and I respect that. It's an ultimate just in case. This is slander. I won't accept this. This is called check spam. This is when you just get checked endlessly. They're going to draw me. I have 6 seconds left. Why would you do this? They're not going to do it. That's the thing. Cap, I'm always angry. Don't do that. Unpremove? Unpremove it? I'd like to unpremove it. Okay, you know what? I apologize for saying that they were just trying to spam me. My rook? We should just resign. That's what a good sport would do. Okay. Not a good game. Good game for a bit, then time pressure. What else is new? We'll finish off today with some bullet. I was like 1597. Why the heck am I playing somebody at 1597? Then I realized, holy cow. But doctor, I am Pagliacci. Go ahead, en passant me. They resisted an en passant? Is it possible to learn this power? I followed up by playing possibly the worst move I could think of there. Okay, well, you know what? Get stolen. What's happening? Why am I playing so slow is the other thing I would ask myself right now. Some heavy slow playing. Go ahead. Okay, queen there. Then knight here. What comes next? What comes next is I get your knight. I think. I'm telling you, you don't want to play this. You played it? Okay. Where do we go from there? I don't know. I'm thinking we start with a check, and then I figure out what the heck I'm doing from there. Ah! Get this piece out of here. You're a piece. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You trade me. I trade you. Trade me, trade you. Trade me. We're gonna trade him down. I love this. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Oh, okay. Honestly, you didn't have to do that. I feel like I got a little lucky there. What, dude, I'm so cheesed that, like, in my bullet games, I think I play worse moves in my bullet games, but I think it's not bad enough. Yes, they're going to play this next. Okay. The moves I make in my bullet games are not so bad as to be like, let me rephrase because I'm making no sense. We should be making better moves in our, right? Okay, good move. Honestly, yeah, I lose. Good move. Never mind. I'm still alive. Oh, I wish. Whatever. Lose a piece. I should be playing better moves in my non-bullet games, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what to do, quite frankly. This is really bad. Obviously really bad. I have no play nor counterplay, I think. But you're gonna take my rook? Go ahead, take my rook. You're gonna put me in check? You're gonna put me in check, take my piece? You're gonna put me in check? Is this how we're doing this? It's a complicated game for a bullet game, man. Like, I'm literally out here being 1500. Can you cut me some slack? I'm literally just trying to enjoy my life. I'm out here just doing nothing, just trying to live. Just trying to put you in a cheeky little check to save the game for myself. And then falling back after costing you 5 seconds. My God. Never should have happened. Never should have happened, but I got one more in me. I feel like we played a horrible game there. But, dude, the bullet philosophy comes true again. When in doubt, just add more pressure. Capture a piece, force them to do something. What do you get? You're not going to attack this pawn. You can't attack. Look at your pawns, dude. Look at your pawns. Look back to me, then back at your pawns, then back to me, then back at your pawns. Sadly, your pawns aren't me. Okay, I still like it. I still like it. After everything we've been through, can I tell you, I still like it. Hold on, we got to protect this pawn. Saved? Saved? We're in an endgame, Tony? That was unexpected. Oh, we take those. We take those any day of the week. What are you going to do? How are you going to stop this pass pawn without giving up too much? I mean, 1. Send me. Capturing was the wrong move. It moves us 1 square closer to the king. Ah, crap. They got me completely locked down, man. I can't make it in. I can't make it in. I gotta resign. Honestly, how many lessons have you taken, you piece of crap? I'm sorry. What? You had me completely locked in on the end game? You had me stonewalled. There were 8 pawns there. I mean, I'm just mad because I got outplayed. Let's just call it like I see it, you know? That was not a situation where, like, they deserved the verbal tongue lashing that I just gave them. Come on. We got... Oh, my piece? Okay, you could have taken my knight, but that's bullet. That's bullet. That's how she goes sometimes. Love it. I think. I don't know. Maybe. That seems pretty good for me. It's hard to follow what's happening. Like, I'll own that for you. That's definitely true. We got a great play here. Okay? That's... Sometimes they make it a little easier for you. I don't know about this one. I don't think you should take my pawn. Just my 2 cents. What's great about this? Watch this. Love it. I'm telling you, my chess instincts are strong. They refuse to... They're moving so fast now. You know what? They could just take my bishop at any point. I left it there to try to convince them to trade. This isn't how you want to play chess, man. Let's be real with one another. This isn't what you signed up for. I'm not playing well. I'm not doing anything. I'm not making any moves. Why am I'm moving so bad and so slow, too. Here. Yes, that's the move. Push the pawn. Push the other pawn. I stalemated him. All right, I gotta go pick up my kid from daycare. I was like, I had 9 seconds. I could have just taken a second to be like, is that a stalemate? But I was like, no, they'll move into check. Honestly, I got lost in the sauce. We still had fun, I think we still did well. I mean, we held our own at 1600 and bullet. It's just unfortunate that I'm a 1300 level player and all other time controls when people actually get a chance to think. Either way, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. See ya.